I've been restless these past few nights, Mother. The rigors of my formal conditioning in the organization seem to be going well. There is still so much that's a mystery to me. I was such a young brat when I left film school. I suppose I get it from you, Mother, a young hippie, disregarding society's rules for us on the search for something greater. I've never been much to fancy any inklings of a higher power or anything supernatural. What drew me to the organization was their passion for video games and their disciplines and the purpose of greater knowledge. They believe all of us as humans are destined for a higher purpose, as long as we open our eyes. Everything else, the talks of other planes, new states of matter, beings made of pixel energy, it all seemed like hocus pocus, a fairy tale of indoctrination for the unwilling that needed coaxing, a mythology to help cement their beliefs. But why would I stay then, you ask, Mother? I don't fully understand myself. I believed as long as I came out of this a better person, a better being somehow, that's all that mattered. I was in love with the message, with or without all the fantastical rituals. But tonight, I don't know, but this dream, it was nothing like I had ever had before. I know the old cliche line, but this dream felt so real, except this isn't quite the case here. The alien nature of it all. The sights, the sounds, the smells were unlike anything I'd ever thought possible to be pulled from any depths of the human psyche, no matter how deep and buried they may be. Wire-like structures were everywhere on this world. A parade of alien celestial bodies were making their way through the sky overhead. I could feel numerous presences around me, beings that I could only discern but the faintest of details. Some seemed like phantoms, just blobs of dark energy, while others seemed to constantly twist and morph into all manner of indescribable shapes and sizes. As incongruous as the whole situation was, one sensation seemed clear as day to me here. Hunger. I'm not sure how long I walked with them. With the phantoms, the sky, the trapezoids, the unimaginables. I was lost in a spectacle of the unknown, but we all seemed to be heading to a common goal. The heavens seemed to split apart. Cheering, I could hear cheering. Howls, jeers, songs, roars. An otherworldly cacophony that I was part of? My mouth was agape, belting out a chorus that my mind knew not the words, and then silence. A sort of scream seemed to appear from the split up above. It descended slowly. I began to hear sounds once more, almost like tearing of skin, the sundering of concrete, glass shattering, fire combusting. The shapes I could not comprehend were all seeming to sprout one discernible feature, gazing up towards the screen. An eye. I woke up in my nightgown. It was a full blood moon. I was gazing up at it. Out on the balcony. A few of us, we were all gazing up at the moon. Even Bennett Jr. was there. He looked at me with the most intent of gazes. Those who had woken from their trance looked at me, smiling. Some came over to me, patting me on the back. I was so weak and confused, I fell into one of their arms. And without as much of a word being spoken, I knew then and there this was more than just chance. No orchestrated stunt. I could feel it. Every one of us. We were all having the same dream.
Eorzea. Eorzea is the setting of Final Fantasy XIV. It is a region within the world of Hadolin, and comprises the Aldenard continent and its outlying islands. Comprised of Aldenard, the westernmost of the 3 great continents and its surrounding islands, the realm of Eorzea has been the cradle of several unique civilizations throughout history. Towering mountains dominate the north, their peaks forever lashed with icy winds. To the south, a bleak expanse of unforgiving desert holds sway. Yet these inhospitable lands hold irresistible lure for man and monsters alike. For wide and deep flow the currents of ether, and rich are the veins of power-infused crystals. In this harsh though vibrant region, the people of Eorzea have carved out their histories. A cycle of prosperous astral and disastrous umbral eras. The first umbral era brought an end to the Age of the Gods, and there has been 6 such eras of calamity since the first astral era ushered in the Age of Man. Each of the umbral catastrophes has, in turn, borne the characteristics of one of the 6 elements. With all of the elements now represented, it was believed that the current astral era would last into eternity. But in the 7th verse of the Divine Chronicles, Messiah Thousand Eyes prophesies a less fortunate fate. The Scenery Sun, or 6th astral era, would indeed end, and the Septenary Moon, or 7th umbral era, would cast its shadow upon the land. Geography. The vast realm of Eorzea, comprising the continent of Aldenard and its outlying islands, has seen the rise of civilization with peoples as diverse as its environs. Throughout its history, the landscape has played home to a number of city-states, the tenuous relations among them fluctuating between friendly and hostile. The pantheon of the 12 is followed devotedly by most, and doctrine holds that the past wars of the realm were the wars of the heavens, with the gods and goddesses laying their favor with nations to champion them. In this way, war spread throughout the realm, discouraging unity and peace. As a result, years passed without the lay of the land, and its borders ever being mapped in its entirety. It was not until some 70 years ago, when an intrepid soul set out to wander the land, at great peril to himself, the first map of Eorzea was completed. Since then, the original rendering has been amended and improved by others, and the form it takes today is used by adventurers across the realm as an indispensable guide on their travels. Climate. For the most part, Eorzea's climate ranges from temperate in the north to subtropical in the south, with the southernmost part of Aldenard being a harsh desert. However, the ethereal disturbances at the start of the 7th umbral era brought about a number of sudden changes to the climate in a few years since the Battle of Cartanu. For example, more rainforests have appeared in Lanosia. Eastern Thanalan has begun shifting into a more semi-arid savanna biome, while Korthos has experienced a perpetual winter. City-states. Located on the southern coast of the island, Vilbrand, Limsa, Lominsa is spread out across numerous surrounding islands, all connected by bridges. The marine city-state is a thalassocracy, currently under the power of ruling party and its leader, the Admiral. Limsa Lominsa's economy is driven by shipbuilding, fishing, and blacksmithing, but largely by the lucrative shipping industry. Gridania is located in the east of the Aldenard continent, within dense woodlands and coursing rivers. It is well known in Eorzea for its forestry, agriculture, carpentry, and leatherworking trades, a product of Gridania's emphasis on harmony with nature and the forest elements. The city-state of Ul'dah is located in the deserts of southern Aldernard. It is a popular location for visitors to partake in its fighting arenas and gambling halls. The Ul'dan culture is known for its affluence. Despite historically being claimed sovereign by the Sultan, it is under the rule of the Syndicate, an elite group comprising of the 6 wealthiest and most influential members of society. The Holy See of Ishgard is found in the central region of Abalathia's spine, the highlands of Korthos. The Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church rules as the nation's sovereign. For thousands of years, they have waged war with the Great Worm, Nidhogg, and his Dravarian horde. The city-state of Alamigo is located in the region of Gir Abania, situated upon the eastern highlands of Aldernard. Though this aggressive nation frequently sought to conquer its neighbors in the west, at the same time it repelled countless invasions from the east in Isbard. It finally succumbed in the year of 1557 to incursions from the mighty Garlean Empire, and now is reduced to an imperial providence. Though not truly a city-state in the strictest sense, the same named colony of Shirlayan in the Dravanian hinterlands came to be considered among the great city-states as it grew into a major city of learning. However, when Alamigo fell to Garlemald, the Shirlayans decided to return to their northern homeland in the mass exodus, leaving the city abandoned.
You focus on the wrong shit. Why these niggas talk shit? I pull out my car, then I pull up to the stars. Bitch, she wanna go far shit. I be on my Mars shit. You know I be soaring. They see me, I be scoring.